record. Let's see.
All right.
Okay, fantastic. Uh, Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to New Jersey Wedding Podcast. I hope it's not your first time, and hopefully it won't be your last either. I'm Celia Milton, and I'm here with my co-host and colleague and friend Andrea Pertel. I am from NJ Vows Now, and Andrea is from For This Joyous Occasion, and we cover the entire state. You cannot escape from us. Today we have a wonderful guest, Rob Charles of Rob Charles Photography. I met Rob at another one of our wonderful interviewees, Pleasantly Divine, beautiful place in very nearby New York State. He is a talented wedding photographer known for capturing magic and emotion and really telling a story. He's going to give us some insights into what makes him a different photographer than other photographers and why you should consider using him, especially at a place, we were just talking about this. If you have a place that's as expansive and fabulous as Pleasantly Divine, having an artist who knows all those little nooks and crannies that they can efficiently take you and your wedding party to and get all those pre-pictures done in a fabulous way and still have you hidden away by the time your guests come. That's fantastic. So enough about us. Rob, tell us about you. How did you get started in this wacky business anyway?
It's a long and complicated story. First of all, like I started taking pictures in clubs. I used to live in Brooklyn, and I went to school for graphic designing and multimedia designing. So I built a website, and I met this promoter, and he wanted me to build the website for his business. So after I created his website, him and I became very, very close. And he bought a camera. He said, "Hey, Rob, do you want to take pictures at my parties?" I'm like, why not? I mean, at that point in time, I was working in security. I was just getting by, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. When he offered, I'm like, what I have to lose? So as I started taking more and more pictures at clubs, I became more and more popular with people around the city, and I started to really fall in love with photography as I grew, and I started understanding photography and understanding angles, stuff like that.
Oh,
And after a while, I branched out from the whole party scene because I'm not a party guy. I was never fully into it because like I'm an introvert. I like to be in my own little space by
right.
myself,
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
in the
totally.
clubs, really focused on my job, doing my job. I was into partying. I mean, sometimes where I got a little wild out, when I got a little drunk here and there, when I want to get that loose a little bit. But besides that, I was mainly focusing on my job because this was what I was really focusing on. I was never a
Mhm.
party guy. So after a while, after a few years, I branched out and started getting more into photography as far as shooting portraits. I had a studio in my sister's home. I was having friends come over and taking pictures. I started doing a lot of portraits. I got into beauty. I started my own brand. I had different names along the years. But after a while, I stuck with Rob Shaw's photography. Um, at a certain point, I moved upstate in
Mhm.
2015 when
Mm.
I moved upstate. So it's a different dynamic as far as which kind of photography. Because New York City is more about fashion, portraits. Up here, it's a bit different. Up here in the Hudson Valley, it's a bit different. So it's more about like family photos,
Yes,
more
absolutely.
candid, more about nature. So when I got up here, I really much changed my style around. Started focusing more on family and maternity shoots. And I didn't get fully into weddings till probably 2019 when I started doing a little bit more and more and more and more. So for me, I didn't really want to start charging or selling my money until I felt comfortable that I'm giving out some value in my work. If I feel that my work
Mhm.
is not worth it, I'm not going to start charging any kind of money because I'm very passionate about what I do, and I want to put the best product out there.
Right,
So
right.
as I started shooting more and more weddings, I started getting better and better. Then the pandemic hit,
Ah, yes.
Pivot
No,
Yes, it
time.
did.
because I told myself in 2019, like I've been doing this for so long, and my biggest dream was to do photography full time and be able to provide for myself and my family with photography. It's been a long struggle trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work, a lot of
Mhm.
ups and downs with photography.
Mhm.
And when the pandemic hits, that's when my business started blowing up.
Right when it
I don't
did.
know
Yeah.
what happened, but it just started blowing up. I started getting more and more inquiries, getting more weddings. So and that's when my business started growing up, going more and more and more. So my photography just started growing more and more and more from 2020. It just started blowing up, and my business is more of like organic. Everything is like word of mouth and what people see on Instagram or Facebook. I don't really pay for any kind of ads. That's
Right. And
typically
you have
how.
fabulous reviews,
Yeah.
fabulous reviews.
Yeah.
Thank you
I
so
think that
much.
is so interesting. That's a beautiful story, when you think about the people that come into your life that change the trajectory
Hmm.
of it, unlocking a talent and a passion
Hmm.
that you may have not been fully aware of
Yeah.
before.
Hmm.
That's kind of how I got into being a full-time wedding officiant is my sister said to me, I got an
Hmm.
idea for you would be perfect for this. And
Hmm.
then the steps that it takes to get you to where you are today. That's a
Hmm.
beautiful story. And your photography is absolutely gorgeous. Your website's fabulous. And like I
Thank you so
said,
much.
you have a lot of great reviews. People saying things like you not only are you talented, but you're fun to work with.
Yeah. Well, I think,
Thank
that
you.
makes such a big difference. We talk about that. When I talk to my couples, some of them have photographers, some of them don't. Everybody's working on their own time frame. But, I always tell them it's like you're going to spend more time with your photographer on that day
Hmm.
than you're
Right.
probably going to spend with anybody
Gotta
else,
like them.
including the person you're marrying. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you really kind of have to like them. Do you sort of like your engagement shoots? Is that one of the ways you work with your couples and getting to know them?
Yes, that's one way because I feel like by us initially meeting for the engagement shoot, that builds a connection, that builds a bond
Mm-hmm.
between the couple and the photographer. So
Yeah.
that I know what works for you. I know what I can do to get certain things out of you, and you know my vibe. You know how I work,
Yeah.
and so that on the day of the wedding, that's one less thing you have to worry about. Is the photographer. You already know how the photographer work. You already know what to expect. That's one less thing you have to worry about. That's why I always encourage my couples to do an engagement shoot. It really, really helps. I mean,
Yeah.
I could definitely engage pictures without it, but it really enhanced the experience by you having an engagement shoot and meeting with the photographer before the wedding. It really enhanced the process.
I think
Yeah.
so too. And I
Hmm.
feel like when people are, more comfortable with because, we hear this over and over again that it's like we hate having our picture taken. Well,
Oh yeah.
you kind of can't avoid that on this
Hmm.
day.
Nervous about
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah.
and anything I think that, a good photographer can make people feel like they're, you're all on the same side. You're all you're
Hmm.
all aiming for the same result, which is
Yep.
great pictures. And yeah, it's just fun. What kind of process do you have with your couples? Like, do you meet a couple of times? Engagement shoots sound like they're important for you.
Well,
What's it like?
well, for me, I have a when they inquire, I
Hmm.
send them my pricing, and I send them a full guide on the process of working with me. Now, after I send that guide, they have three options: either we do a call on Zoom, a
Hmm.
phone call, or meet in person. They
Okay.
have those three options. But a lot of people love to meet on Zoom or phone call. I've
Yeah.
I've met people here and there in person, but a lot of people are busy nowadays, so they
Right.
can't really meet in person that much as they want. So they mainly pick Zoom, so we get a connection to the Zoom call, and they get a feel for me, I get a feel for them. That way, we could determine if we are the right fit. Because I'm not, you're not, the couple's not, I'm not, the staff the couple's not only trying to figure out if the fluffer is good for them, but also the fluffer is trying to figure out if the couple is the right fit for him or her as well also.
Yeah, that makes a
Because
lot
if
of
it's not
sense.
if it's not a right fit, there's no point of us working together.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Right. I love
And
your use of light in some of the pictures I'm seeing on your website. Do you
mm,
have a how do you describe your style, of photography?
For me, I find it's hard to describe my style
Right, right.
because
And I'm sure
I
you have to accommodate also
um
what the couple asks for.
not really because for me, well, a lot of couples ask for different things, but my biggest focus for me and for my couples, I always tell them that it's for them to feel comfortable,
Hmm.
for them to feel comfortable, for them to feel stress free, for them to feel safe for the wedding day. Because if you don't feel those emotions right there and there, if you don't feel safe, you don't feel comfortable, you're not going to really enjoy your wedding.
That's so
Right,
Because
true.
right. And
by
it's going to
me,
show in your
it's
pictures.
gonna show. Because I always tell them like, yo, that's the most important because everything else will follow suit if you're comfortable and you feel safe and you feel stress free. The great pictures will definitely follow. All you gotta do is just take it all in and enjoy your day. Don't focus on the negative. If something bad happens on your wedding day, we will adjust and we'll move on.
We'll deal with it.
You
Yeah,
know,
I no,
so
I think
yeah.
I think that that's very, and I've heard this from other people, not only photographers, but other people that we've had as guests and people that we know. It's like if you feel like, once the couple feels like they're part of a group of people who are looking for the same kind of result. Everybody's
Hmm.
there for you.
Hmm.
It's like I look at, some of the videos and pictures, we've just started working on a new website and I had to look through more of my own pictures than anybody should have to, frankly. That's like really, oh, wow, look at that ear sticking through that hair. Ooh, that's kind of an ugly thing. But I can tell when I look back at the couples, the people that I remember as being just really sort of put your put your worries and your stress, give it to us because we can
Hmm.
deal with it. And they end up having a great time. At some point, that nervousness about this big thing that they're doing goes away and they just start to
Hmm.
enjoy it. And the earlier, if that can happen during the first look, it just makes our life so much better because now
Yeah.
they're like happy people. They're not
Hmm.
stressed out, freaked out people. They're happy because they love their photographer. They're having a
Hmm.
great time at their venue, and it's like now they're looking forward to it with glee instead of
Hmm.
dread, looking
Yeah.
for the thing that might go wrong.
Another thing also, as a photographer, you have to be prepared for anything. You have to show confidence. You gotta show no matter
Yeah.
what the day of whatever, even if they did the first look or if they did not do the first look, you gotta show them that you are confident no matter what
What
the
happens?
plan is, no matter what happened, no matter if they're doing the first look or not, you're gonna capture great images. You're gonna capture their story. You're gonna capture their love. You're gonna capture the joy of the wedding. So man, no matter what, you gotta be confident and tell them like, yo, no matter what happens, you're gonna get the work done. That you need.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. You know what? A wedding is going to happen in a way that you don't expect.
Hmm.
I never really say, well, something's going to go wrong. Something's going to happen the way that you didn't plan it. And
Yeah.
that doesn't make it bad. I mean, in a lot of cases, like some of those rain pictures, I just posted a picture on Instagram of a couple on a bridge in the rain, and it's a
Hmm.
beautiful picture. Did they really want it to rain that day? Probably not. But it's absolutely fabulous, and they completely capitalized on it.
Hmm.
And,
Hmm.
I don't know. I think of New York State, I think of like snow.
You
Like I,
definitely
I,
have to roll with the
Yes, you
challenges
yeah,
do.
and
yeah, you
yeah,
do.
make
Like,
it
most of it.
and then take something like that and make it beautiful.
Hmm.
So you offer photography. Do you do film, drones, what anything at photo booths, anything else?
I partner with someone else who does video for me. So what I do is like
Okay.
I add the video to my package, and if they want to go with video, my partner will do the video, and I'll do the photography.
Great, great.
Yeah.
And I
Yes.
and I and I, and I get a booking I get a booking fee from his package, pretty
Right.
much.
It's
Mhm.
nice to work when you're doing photography, working with the videographer, somebody you
Hmm.
know, because you guys know each other's steps. You
Yeah.
work well as a
Yeah,
team.
yeah.
Yeah.
I work with Tony. His company's called is Tool Visual, and
Uh-huh.
him and I met at Pacific Divine, and him and I connect. We are a great team. Him and I just even without talking to each other, we definitely figure out what we're gonna do before we do it. So I love it
Yeah.
with Tony.
Yeah,
So yes, he's the best.
it's
He's
good to
great.
have.
I had worked with him before at another venue,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
I think we talked for like 1 minute. He's like, "I know you. I worked with you." I was like, "Okay, that's possible." He says, "Yeah,
Hmm.
we worked at this venue, and it was in
Hmm.
that month. And here's a picture." It's like, "Whoa, that's pretty
Hmm.
impressive." And yeah, he's great. Very but well, both of you unobtrusive in the background, making these beautiful pictorial things happen without, and I think that that's really important too, because I think when couples sort of forget that you're there, obviously not for the portraits and things like that, but like during the ceremony and maybe later on,
Hmm.
when they forget that you're there, I think that's when the really great pictures happen, you know.
Yeah, so I like to be pretty much a fly on the wall when I'm taking
Yeah.
pictures. I don't like to be too up close. I like to be as far as possible. If I need to get up close for something, I will get up close, but I'll be very sneaky with it, like a ninja, so you
Yeah.
can't really know that
Yeah.
I'm there.
Those are
Yeah.
always the great shots. I mean, you
Hmm.
have to
Hmm.
get the family shots. They stand
Right.
up here,
Hmm.
but those are always my favorites. Those when you're like they don't know you're the fly on the wall
They
shots.
don't know
Those
you're
are
Hmm.
great.
there.
Yeah.
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 I know,
Hmm.
Yeah.
it's great. That's like
Speaking about photo shots, is there any must-have shots that couples forget to request that you tell them we have to do, or you have
For
a
me,
favorite?
no, for me, it's all about what the couples want, and sometimes the couple say, what, Rob, whatever you want, we just trust you. I love that.
No, that's
That
great.
makes my job so much easier, because I could just focus on them and seeing what works for them. Because sometimes when couples see a picture online, they want to try to create. Those are models. You can't recreate that
Right.
you could create in some way, but that was something when they trust me fully and trust in my vision, it's the best. But
Yeah.
one picture that Mac was a love is like the veil shot. You shooting in between the veil, and when the couple are in between the veil, you shooting in between under the veil. They love that shot, so that's why that one thing they will try to want me to get for them.
I want to let our listeners know that you have a beautiful website with a beautiful gallery on it.
Thank you.
And robcharlesphotography.net. We'll be putting a link to that, on the podcast site and the Instagram sites. So couples looking for a photographer for their wedding can go straight to yours and see these shots that you're talking
Mm,
about and your work. It's gorgeous.
Thank you so much.
yeah. It's
Are you still booking for 2025? How's that going? Or are you in
Right now
2026?
I'm in 2026 and 2025 because like it's 2025. I already know that as the year goes on, I will still get some more bookings
yeah.
trickling down. Those are just last people who are just planning a last minute wedding. So
Yeah, there's
Right.
more
if
and
I
more last minute nowadays.
yeah
I don't know what's
if I'm
going
if
on.
I'm available, yeah, I'll take it. If not, then I won't. But right now, I'm pretty much fully booked for 2025, and I'm booking now for 2026 right now.
That's great.
Hmm.
That's great. I find, it's funny. Usually when people come to me, we're very often, me and Andrea, we're very often the last thing people think about. And but partly because it doesn't sound like it's any fun. And
Hmm.
in
It's
some
not the
situ
cake tasting.
no,
Yeah.
it's not cake, and no, it's not frosting. But partly because, there are people who think some people just don't even know that they need somebody, which I find
Hmm.
like really kind of weird. But I'm booking people who do not have anybody yet. They've got their venue. They don't have a photographer. They're looking at October. It's like, well, that's okay because
Wow.
you're the only person who thought October was a great month to get married. It's like,
Uh,
no, it's just relax. It's gonna be fine. Don't worry.
yeah, people, I don't
Yeah.
understand that.
Is it a Tuesday? You're fine with a Tuesday. Saturday,
Hmm.
maybe not so much.
Definitely not. Yeah, like like I don't understand like if because I feel like if you plan a wedding, especially around September and October, you gotta do like at least a year in advance.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially if there's some pain point that you really that's important as far as if it's a photographer, if it's a DJ or if it's a venue, you gotta get that ahead of time, like at least a year in advance, so that you
Yeah.
get the percent that you want. So you don't have to settle for just anybody.
Yeah.
you know?
We said, listen,
Yeah.
we talked about that a lot. It's like if you have found somebody that you 90% like, just book them. Don't
Yeah.
Hmm.
wait
It's gonna get hooked
and
up.
don't talk to 27 other people because you're probably not going to like them as much and your
Yeah.
person that you really do like is going to be gone by the time you get back to
Hmm.
them.
Yeah.
It's great, especially now. It's like funny when as soon as the weather starts to get a little warmer, people who are getting married in like the late spring and summer are like, "Whoa, wait a second, we don't have anybody to marry us. We got to do this
Hmm.
like we got to
Hmm.
do this
Yeah.
like right now." Yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of
I
like
want
that.
to tell our listeners too, on your website, you have your inquire. So if they'd like to inquire, there's an easy link on robcharlesphotography.net to
Right,
inquire. And I want to say, I very much like your contact, your inquiry page. You ask the stuff we need, their name, email, and their wedding date, because you can't tell them if you're available without knowing
right.
the wedding date.
Yes.
But
Hmm.
I love these questions you have on there. What made you choose your venue space? And then a little bit, tell me a little bit about you two. Tell me about what you're looking for. Do you have a Pinterest wedding board link? I think this really gives you some great insight. That's well thought
Hmm.
out to
Yeah,
them and what they might be looking for.
Another reason why I did that, because like if someone really want to work with me, they will take the
Uh,
time to fill out that
that's
contact
true.
sheet. 'Cause
That's a good point. Yeah.
it's not that long, but it's not
no,
that short as well. Also, it's asking for a lot of information that when I do get on a call for you, I already have, even though I'm gonna go through all the questions like again, and I'm gonna have you tell me these questions again, but it's nice knowing a lot of you before I get on a phone call with you
right. You've
as
done
well
your
also.
homework, you know
Yeah,
what to talk to them about. I
yeah.
think that's
Hmm.
I think that's really great, very
Yeah.
professional. I really like that instead of just, yeah,
Yeah.
um, their
Well,
name.
I
Like
think
that.
it signals too that they've looked at your pictures or they've looked at, our websites and it's not just like scattershot. It's like
Hmm.
this looks like there's something here that speaks to me in a way that makes me want to go further. And
Yeah.
I just feel like sort of that weeding out of both vendors and clients is really useful because it's time consuming. Weddings now are
It is.
complicated. There's like a
Hmm.
lot of moving parts and I
The
think
whole
it's
timeline.
oh my God, it's like overwhelming.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I think by, narrowing, having enough in place I know we keep hearing that as vendors, we need to ask people less and less and less because we need to have like no friction. But, I feel
No,
like for
I'm found the
people,
fiction.
I no, I think it's good because it kind of it vets us a little more and but there are
Hmm.
people who are just not we're not right for each other.
Yeah.
That well.
Also, a lot of us have personal lives as well. Also, photography is not the thing that we do. You know,
Yeah.
and our time is very precious. So that's why I have my contact phone the way it is, and that's why when I send them my wedding guide, it gives them so much information so that when we get on a phone call, we can just focus on getting to know each other
It's very
as well
professional,
also.
very
Yeah.
Yeah.
insightful.
Yeah, it's like the nuts and bolts are kind of out of the way, and now you can just,
Yeah.
you can have fun with each other. I think that's
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Excellent. Oh my gosh, this is so great. Wow.
Well, I want to again tell our listeners that robcharlesphotography.net is the website, and his Instagram is at um, at Rob Charles at Rob Charles Photo, and the links will be on our social media sites as well as the website and the podcast site, so you guys can just click right on it and go look at his beautiful
Hmm.
photography and fill out his inquiry, and so you can speak with him and see if you are a good fit. And yeah, if you're looking for a wedding photographer who truly brings your love story to life, you got to check out his work, and follow him on social
Yeah.
media and follow us, and be sure to hit like and subscribe so you hear all
Oh,
of our
you
podcasts.
don't want to miss anything, and don't wait too long. Do it now.
Yeah.
Do it this afternoon. Okay. Excellent, Rob. Listen, it was great to talk to you. Thank you so much. I hope to see you again soon. And
Sammy, thank you so much for
yeah.
having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye bye, Rob.